Welcome to the WinEH podcast. This show is focused on empowering ranchers. Whether you're a seasoned rancher or just getting started, we'll guide you on how to use the infinite banking concept as an alternative way to finance your operations. It's a better way to think about money. Join us as we discuss planning for the future, attracting the next generation, and the art of keeping more money within the family. Here's your hosts, Winnie and Lacey.
Today we have Sonja Shank with us here at the Soil and Health Grazing Conference. She was so kind and courageous to say, yes, I will come in and have a conversation with you guys.
Good morning, Winnie. Good morning, Winnie.
And then, of course, joining me is also Miss Lacey Rowan, Mrs. Lacey Rowan.
Morning. Yes, and so it's funny because as we sat down, my memory starts like coming back to me, and I remember Sonia from the sheep symposium in Red Deer, and that her daughter rides English. And so if you talk about horses, you have my full attention. So it's good to be in the same room again.
It's good to know this. So like if I feel like you're ignoring me, I just have to like horsify it somehow.
That's right.
That's right.
Absolutely. And it's really funny because you think even though your background is potentially in horses, we were actually in Guelph last weekend and ended up coming across to some hay marketing. And so we got to go out and see some hay marketing and compressing of bales. And then I was like, oh, this is so actually normal because we are heading to Florida with horses, and everything we get there are these compressed bales. And it was really neat to kind of see the whole system in terms of the baling, the drying, the compressing, the slicing up into these little tiny 60-pound bales that actually are, about this big, and then putting them into the sea can. So it was kind of a neat thing.
Yeah.
So part of the reason why I invited you over, Sonia, was because a lot of what Lacey and I do is we really like to empower people financially. And we're also here at the Soil and Health and Grazing Conference, and there's like a whole theme here that's amazing. So you're a program coordinator for the Environmental Farm Plan.
That is correct. And I get to wear a lot of hats in that job because I get to meet producers at events like this, and then out in the field and at sheep conferences, and get to talk about the Environmental Farm Plan and how a lot of organizations are using it for business risk management as well.
Risk management. Tell us a little bit about it. I understand that there's a bit of a deadline that not everyone's aware of, and maybe not everyone's taking advantage of, and it could be a money saver in the long run if you do.
So this year, Alberta, AAFC and the federal government has put into place that if you're participating in the AgriInvest program and you're looking at making some deposits, before you can make those deposits, you are required to have your environmental farm plan in place. Now, they're not asking you for a copy of your certificate, and they're not asking you to upload anything. It's just basically an attestation. So you will have received a little letter in the mail from our lovely federal banking people saying, if you are in this top category of allowable net sales of over $1 million, you will be required to have your environmental farm plan in place before you can make your deposits for 2025.
So it's just for like people who do crops, or is it mixed farms? Is it for people who do cattle as well?
It's for anybody out there who they may be, we have a lot of joint ventures as well that come into this. So some of the larger farms that are kind of the umbrella for all of the partners in the organization, and generally it's based on that organization. So we have one producer in the county that I participate in, and they are all of the sons and all of the wives are partners in that farm. So when it comes to their environmental farm plan certificate, there's only one environmental farm plan required for the operation, but all of the partners who are going to have AgriInvest accounts need to be listed on it. So in his case, there are 8 producers who are listed on that certificate to ensure that they can make those deposits in an appropriate manner. The only 2, and that's part of the AgriInvest, is that there's only 2 specific parts of agriculture that don't qualify under AgriInvest, and that's anybody who's operating under the quota system. So anybody who's got chickens that they've had to purchase quota for, or dairy. Yeah.
Okay. So for somebody, like I just learned about the AgriInvest program, I guess, over the past couple of years. So for listeners who don't even know what it is, can you explain to them?
I will give it a try. Obviously, it's not through the provincial government, but what it is it allows producers to go in and make a deposit up to, I think it's up to 10% of their current net revenue. And once that's put into an account that's with an accredited banking association, they can apply to have a matching portion put in by the federal government. So it is supposed to be kind of like a savings or a TFSA style investment for farmers. Definitely go to the AgriInvest website to get all of the specific details. Again, I get to work on it from the sidelines where we have people calling going, I need a copy of my certificate. Right. I have AgriInvest deposits to make. Now, and it also depends on when your year-end deadline is and when you plan on making those deposits.
Right. So, so that is what it is in a nutshell. And I think it's the more we learn about what is out there and what's available for farmers and ranchers or anybody in the agriculture industry, never stop learning. And so, I think it's great.
We also have a blog on the Alberta EFP website, kind of about the frequently asked questions, specifically tying AgriInvest to the EFP. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out either to the Alberta EFP, give us a call, 587-200-2552, talk to your technician, which are generally located in your county office, or, ask Winnie, check
right.
out. She'll probably
or Lacey.
Or Lacey. They'll probably have the right connections for you.
So somebody who needs help creating their environmental farm program, there are resources out there for help with that.
Absolutely. We have 49 technicians across the province who are prepared to come in and help for producers who want to do it one-on-one. Most of the associations who are here today, who are putting on the Western Soil and Grazing Conference, actually participate in our program as well, and they have technicians within their employee circles.
Perfect.
And then, yes, like I mentioned, a lot of the counties, their person in their ag service department will be in touch.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, half the time, like administration is always a part of everything that we do. And so are you saying like these 49 technicians will come and help fill out the forms, like help?
Yeah.
Because they'll probably understand it more than just the same thing in our industry. Like every time we're asking people to fill something out, it's like it always works better when we're right there.
Absolutely. So we just did a workshop probably a week ago, and we were in the foothills area down in Clare's home, and it was a wonderful opportunity for the producers in the area to get that one-on-one help. And it's amazing how quickly, like the thing that we hear a lot of times is, oh, I don't want to do this. I remember the big 4-inch binder. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of nice that since we've updated it to an online system, you can go in and select out the parts that don't apply to your operation, and it significantly cuts down the time required. I always say we can get a complicated farm done in 8 hours, so hopefully we can get you through in a few bits. The first 2 chapters are quite intensive, and that's usually where people get hung up, which is why we do suggest they work with a technician, at least for those first 2 chapters to get those questions answered.
Yeah, that's awesome that they're available to sit with people and walk, because I think the overwhelm of something like that oftentimes is what holds people back from doing it. It's because it's just like you just don't even know where to start.
Yeah, and that's part of it, and we do realize that's a pain point. And I don't know that there is anybody here who decided they wanted to be a producer to fill out paperwork. Like, right? Honestly, we look at them all and we're like, really? Did you want to fill out Canada Gap and the EFP and the EFP Plus and your environmental assessment because you have a dairy? Like, you can go through all of the paperwork that some of these farms have to go through, and that's not including all of your accounting and your banking. So it's quite difficult, I think, for producers, like you say, just to take that first step, because it can seem very overwhelming.
Absolutely.
So I guess before we end this off, I mean, I guess where I was still looking for a bit of an answer, and I hope I didn't tune out even while I was sitting here, because that can sometimes happen. But so there's a savings now to do it, rather than waiting for the deadline.
Yeah,
right?
we always say, because when you complete your environmental farm plan, it's not like an instant, here's your certificate, you've done it. It does come back to our office or to the technician that you've worked with, and they do a review of it. And we do try to give them some grace period, because being a technician is not their only job. A lot of them have other responsibilities. So if you decide that on December 20th, you're going to submit your environmental farm plan for review, a lot of offices are closed until the beginning of January. So if you have to make a deposit by the 15th of January, keep that in mind, that your expectation of what everybody else is working may not be the same.
Understood.
Good to know. So take action sooner than later.
Yep. Be proactive, people.
You bet. And the website at albertaefp.com also has a listing of all of the workshops and events going around on the province. So if you click onto that, we've got things listed from anywhere from Mackenzie all the way down to Clare's home. So, and even further south into Warner County. So we have all of those technicians who are on the ball to try and make sure that it's an easier process.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's so good. Thank you so much, Sonia. Is there anything else you wanted to add to?
Not really. Feel free to stop by our booth. And again, we're always looking for, positive, feedback on if the experience has been great or not for you with doing your environmental farm plan. So I'd appreciate, if we've got postcards, we've got all kinds of little things. Feel free to send us a testimonial. We have a Facebook page, but I hate to say it. It's kind of here, let's figure out how to catch snow. Here's a little educational post. We don't have great reels of cows dancing in the field or anything, but that's just because I get to do it sitting at my desk. So,
yeah. Well, we'll become Facebook friends. And here's some positive feedback, positive affirmations on you. You've been so pleasant and happy, and just so happy to deal with. And you're so knowledgeable. I mean, I'm sure we're just scratching the tip of the iceberg in terms of everything you know.
Oh, well, it's quite funny, because the other thing that we do notice is sometimes the EFP is used as a carrot. Sorry, the funding is used as the carrot to get producers to do their EFP. So if producers are looking at any of the programs in the Sustainable Canadian Agricultural Programs that are coming open in March or February, a lot of them require an environmental farm plan as a side piece. So again, all of these things, like when RALP opens in February and there's that little checkbox saying, do you have an environmental farm plan? Hopefully you're not phoning going, I don't have this. How do I complete this application?
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for willing to share with us and record with us. We appreciate it. And every little tidbit of information that we can get out to producers, I know that it helps someone. So we're very grateful.
So glad you leaned in with us on the WinEH podcast. We truly hope you're feeling more informed and empowered to take another step towards optimizing your financial life. Right now, make sure you hit subscribe so you can keep growing and learning with us. Until next time, we wish you prosperity in every area of your life.